Hey, good morning. It's day 41. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. You might be able to see some of the flies. They're usually hard to see, but there's billions of them. It's terrible. But in any case, I had a pretty sore night. I didn't take any painkillers. I probably should have because I pushed it and hiked into the night last night. I've got 28 miles to the highway that leads to Tehachapi, hitch or some means to get in there. I'm not quite sure yet. I have 11 miles to water. I'm a little thirsty now. I have 2 liters. I've been trying to discipline myself. I don't know exactly what the trail looks like ahead, but I'm heading out. It's already warm, sunny, but let's hope I stay in the shade and have easy terrain. And when I get to that water supply in 11 miles, I'm really going to indulge because I was a little bit thirsty during the night, and that's an uncomfortable feeling. Talk to you soon. Beautiful trail. It's very kind of pastoral the last 30 miles with grassy hills and these trees that if you saw them from a distance you might think it was an apple orchard. But one thing that's constant over the last like 75 miles, well, there's been a ton of bear scat and other kinds of animal scat, but this kind of scat, and I don't want to look at it too much, I'll gag, but if you run around cows, they call them, I think, cow patties, and it looks like that, but they're everywhere. And there's what looks like deep footprints from something like a deer, but too deep to be a deer. Maybe an elk or something. And look at that right there. I think that's probably mountain lion footprints. Great. Yeah, I didn't want to mention it yesterday. There's another one. But I saw the first person in days, and it wasn't a hiker. It was just a guy who has a cabin somewhere in the area, and he had his giant pit bull, and I had a rifle and a revolver. Looked like he was outfitted like in the Wild West. And we stopped and chatted. He was very pleasant, and I asked him if he was out hunting. He said no. He said just the bears are so aggressive that he didn't want to set foot outside of his cabin without being fully armed. And then he looked at me and kind of smiled. And I was like, oh boy. He says he sees them all the time. I see their scat, but I haven't seen the bears, and I think I'd rather see them on YouTube or from a great distance. They generally don't worry me, but when you have people like that who are saying these things, it does unnerve you a little bit. I'd like to think he's wrong. He's probably wrong because more hikers would have been eaten by now. But, okay, press on. It's warm in the sun. I note also the clouds coming in. I don't know if that's indicative of some rain coming, but if it adds some shade, I'm all for it. Close to the wind turbines. That one seems to be broken. Well, bugs have disappeared again, so off comes the head net. But this is pretty typical. I'm walking in the hot, dry sun, and it's just, I feel like a raisin in the sun, just burning up. I got 4.6 miles to the water source, so I'm in pretty good shape. Once I get in shade, I'll probably take a tiny rest and have some more water. To be frank, for the last day, I'd like to drink a liter at a time, but there isn't any, so gotta have some water discipline here. Dry, dry, dry. I'm taking a break behind a giant rock in the middle of nowhere, It's clearly volcanic. You can see all the, looks like molten rock. Some rocks embedded in it. Must have been blown here from some volcano. But it is so underneath the rock. It's very nice. Oh my gosh. I still have 3.7 miles to get to the water source. It's about 1,000 foot uphill, some downhill, but mostly uphill, but I can make it. So less than probably an hour and a half, I guess. Someone just did big poo. It's pretty fresh. I'm guessing it's a bear, but I don't know what. It's about 8 inches across. Oh my God. Press on. I only want to see wildlife like that from a good distance. There's an enormous amount of damage to the trail, presumably from that rainstorm that came in into the Southern California desert, where of course I am now, and dumped as much as 6 or 8 inches of rain. And I'm near the area where it dumped that. But you see gullies everywhere, dirt roads, just a mess. It's going to be a long cleanup for volunteers and workers to fix everything. Early this morning I came close to those last 2 wind turbines, and then the PCT trail goes out 3/4 of a mile, comes back into the next turbine, goes out again 3/4 of a mile, comes back in close to the wind turbine. What I'd really love is for some enterprising young PCT hiker to map out just walking on the road. I mean, I like hiking, but hiking in the burning sun, when there's like a road next door that I could have done in 20 minutes versus 2 or 3 hours. Come on. After 20 miles water, I just feel so good. I'm gonna drink up a lot here before I move on, despite the fact that there's trillions of flies around my face. I'm still gonna drink a lot. Well, I've been here at this water source for over an hour, and I've got 4 liters so far, and I've drank 1.5 liters of water. I was so thirsty when I came in, so now I'm collecting liter 5 and 6, and then top everything off, and I'm going to leave here with 4 full liters of water, because there's no more water again until you get to the highway overpass that leads to Tehachapi, and that's about 17 miles. So I'll definitely be dry camping tonight. Hopefully I can do another 8 or 10 miles, and we'll see. It's already starting to get late. It's like 1:30, but I'll try and get in as many miles as I can, and hopefully have enough water. I don't want to. I'll have a bit more water overall than I had yesterday. 3.5 mile road walk on a destroyed dirt road. This is going to be fun. 3.5 miles. Oh my God. Amazing view out there. I don't know whether that's Tehachapi or the Mojave. I thought it was Mojave, but they have some huge runways, and I don't see that many. Although, actually, I see some big planes parked, so maybe that is Mojave. And I think Tehachapi is over this way behind the mountains, I think. But all I know is I'm getting close. And tomorrow I'll be in there. Tehachapi, that is. Just 0.4 of a mile to my tent site. It's, I think it's around 10 minutes to 6 or so. It'll set me up for a nice hike into Tehachapi tomorrow. Pretty worn out, but happy to end it with some sun on a trail that's not gonna kill me like that road. Hey guys, it's the end of day 41. Did about 22 miles today. I've got just a tad over 6 miles to get to the overpass that leads me to Tehachapi. You're looking into this beautiful valley of both Tehachapi and Mojave, and what you're seeing is all these lights blinking, maybe, from the wind turbines, of which there's gazillions of them. And this is really a magical terrain right now. I wish I had more of this during the day. I had a hellish road walk. It was a pretty good day. Yeah, I mean, it was a good day. I didn't enjoy the road walk. Took a whole lot longer than expected. Ended up being like 4.5 miles. And under that big fat tree is my tent. I still haven't got anything set up in it because I haven't eaten dinner, and it's just about 7. So I got to go ahead and eat my dinner, get ready for a rest, and then head into that beautiful town of Tehachapi, where I can hopefully get some rest, shower, laundry, food, etc.